Let's now get you some breaking news that we are getting on the broadcast. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi has received a phone call from the Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. The two leaders have discussed the unfolding situations in Gaza as well as the grave security and humanitarian consequences of the ongoing conflict. And we've been told that they've also deliberated upon the possible ways for military de-escalation and also diplomatic efforts to restore peace and stability in the region. Let me take this across to my colleague Siddhant, who's joining us on the broadcast with more details on the story. Siddhant, now that we know about this phone call that the two leaders are involved in, this also comes close on the heels of the Jordanian resolution that India abstained from voting for. Now, how does one explain India's stance? Because on the one hand, we also see aid that's going from the Indian territory into the Gaza Strip for the people, for the Palestinians who are there, who are being impacted massively because of the Israeli airstrikes. And on the other hand, we also see how India is maintaining a balanced position by abstaining for voting in favor of the resolution.
Well, yes, that's right. But look, we have friends in Middle East, and perhaps India has been in touch with many of these friendly nations, ally in the Middle East. And in fact, India has a very clear position when it comes to the ongoing war. In fact, today also the sources in the government of India again confirmed, and perhaps we were told that the only reason that India abstained and perhaps did not vote in favor of the resolution, the reason is that it did not had mention of terrorism, or perhaps it did not call 7th October attack as a terror attack, and that was the main reason. Now, coming to India-Egypt relationship, we have a long historic relations with Egypt, and Prime Minister Modi shares personal rapport with President El-Sisi. In fact, there are multiple working groups in which both nations are working together. At times, both leaders have exchanged, greetings with each other. In fact, India also invited Egypt to be a part of G20 meeting in New Delhi. So we have a very close relationship and trade with Egypt, and this is a time when it is important for India also to perhaps be in touch with ally and friends in West Asia, and Egypt being an important player in West Asia, in terms of Rafah border and perhaps the aid which is going inside Gaza. India has sent aid to Egypt, and through Egypt only the aid is going to Gaza. So, that makes Egypt an important player. In fact, the President's office of El-Sisi has confirmed that both leaders spoke about the humanitarian crisis going on in Gaza, and perhaps, what more can be done to resolve and to put end to those humanitarian crises. So, the discussion, the talking point between two leaders was the humanitarian crisis going on in Gaza. But perhaps this confirmation has come from the office of the President of Egypt. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Siddhant. Let's now shift focus